Hello there. So this presentation, this video log is about the findings that I received from the teacher interviews and student questionnaire and the data that I was able to accumulate, what I was able to take away from the project. I found the project to be really insightful. It opened up my mind to new possibilities and ways of looking at um, designing and implementing technology in the classroom. So this is the integration of instructional technology presentation and video log. First part of this is going to be the focus on English language learners and students with special needs. So I asked the teacher how do they handle English language learners and students with special needs in the classroom. This is the quote. First, explicitly articulated learning outcomes give you and your students a clear shared sense of what holds the course together. Second, communicating expectations with students is fair. It helps avoid misunderstandings and gives a reference point should grading problems arise. Third, learning outcomes set high minimum standard for students to meet or exceed. Finally, learning outcomes provide a good blueprint for a module or course because they allow you to ensure course activities, assessments, and content are aligned in a coherent way. In a sense, learning outcomes are like thesis statements for course design. So I approached the questions I asked the instructors and teachers from an instructional design perspective. Um, and the way they handle English language learners and students with special needs could also apply to the general student population. From what I've learned from interviews and from prior experience, is that I would use differentiated learning for students with special needs, English language learners, and it's just a type of learning where instruction is tailored to meet the learning needs and preferences and goals of individual students. My Getting to know your student questionnaire is really just an introduction to one of the classes that I teach at the high school level, which is an honors African American history course for grades 11 and 12. This upcoming school year, I am going to hopefully include the STEAM enhanced curriculum into the history of African Americans. The short survey, and the link is at the bottom of this slide, just includes some basic questions about their favorite subjects, the favorite movies and music they like, their favorite hobbies, the question about their parents, what their parents do for work, their immediate and extended family, and the type of technology that they like in the classroom. Next slide here is just a compilation of a few of the interview questions that I asked the students in the questionnaire, the data that I received from the students. I found the students' data to be insightful. I can definitely use data such as these in real world scenarios to help me better align my teaching practices and my lesson plans to cater to the needs of my students, develop more of a personalized learning approach or differentiated learning approach to instruction. Um, this start of these slides are the teacher questionnaire part of this. As I said, I approached the teacher questionnaire interviews from an instructional design perspective. How would teachers design or create a course, um, having technology at the center of it? So the first question was technology based upon technology enabled activities. How does technology enable activities to provide students with opportunities to receive the necessary information and practice the application of the information corresponding to the learning outcome? Second question was based upon student engagement. Are students actively engaged? In other words, do they have to take responsibility for their learning rather than just being passive recipients of the information? With going to remote learning because of the virus, a lot of teachers have found that their students are just passive. Some of them don't show up, or they don't have their cameras turned on. They're not, at the very least, interested in what's going on. So it's really the teacher's responsibility to develop online formative assessment tools that can determine whether the student is learning and developing learning activities associated with those formative assessment tools. The third question was about how learning happens. The question was, where will each activity happen, and when and will learning happen inside or outside the classroom? Fourth question was based upon activities performed online. If the activity will happen outside the classroom, do you need students to perform the activity online? Next, technology tools. If the activity will happen online, what technological tools will be needed to facilitate students' engagement and learning? Technology for type activities. Absorb type activities are essential scaffolding tasks for student learning. How do you integrate technology with these activities? 7, technology for do type activities. Do type activities are tasks that you will provide students with first-hand doing or second-hand observing experience of using the information they've learned in the absorb type activities at the expected level of the proficiency. So how do you integrate technology using those kinds of activities? Technology for connect type activities. Connect type activities are tasks enabling students to connect information, knowledge, skills, and attitudes and experiences with their prior knowledge, personal experience, and future learning. How do you integrate technology with these activities? Number 9 is accessibility of technology. Are the technological tools that you want to use in your course easily available to you and your students? And what skill level are you comfortable with? And are your students comfortable with in terms of using technology? Will this increase your workload or reduce it? So that's the end of my presentation. I really enjoyed it, and thank you very much. Have a great day.